So I've always been fascinated kind of with this idea, like what makes people spiritual. And I've gone through a lot of interesting experiences where I've kind of come to the conclusion that, you know, spirit is life. We are the breath of life, and that's what makes us spirit. So that is the basis, the foundation of our experience of this reality. I've been learning more humbleness in my humanness because of the fact that we are part of such a grand oneness, life force, eternal, infinite energy. And once we tune into that, our humanness, that identity that we so strongly cling to with our ego, starts to really vanish. And I think we go through a journey of evolving more and more into that. I used to not have any idea of what my spirit was wanting, and I didn't know what spiritual meant. And I unfortunately got kind of trapped in a facade of really trying to find myself, but also seeing the reflections outwardly of the falseness, because I hadn't found it within myself yet. And we're all still looking, but I think we do get to a point where we're like seeing the truth of what spirit really is. And then we also can see past the false lightness. We're learning to see those fallen angels more and more for who they are. So, for anyone wanting to explore spirituality, just know that you're already in it, and there's nothing more to add. You don't have to be anything else. Kind of notice that over the years when I'm in my healing practice, doing healing work on a client, I naturally like to wear white, and it's been something that helps me move the energy clearer and more productively. But I also notice a tiny bit of my ego would say, yes, this is when you're being spiritual, is when you have your your white garbs on. And I over time was like, no, I'm no more spiritual with this identity or without. I will always be founded within spirit. So it's very important who you work with. You want to make sure that they've made that kind of quantum leap, that distinction between their ego and what is truth. Because what is truth is we're just a conduit for these energies. And the ego wants to identify with that. So you have to be really careful for the people who are still stuck in the facade of looking spiritual. You have to really look through a lot of different systems and programs, what the Matrix has set up. It's something interesting if the Matrix is really pushing an individual. You want to look at that. Like, even though this person is saying the right things, a lot of spiritual jargon, what are their true motives? What are their agreements? You have to kind of look into the heart and the soul. Find the truth in yourself, find the truth in others, and just being able to be transparent through this reality, knowing that our essence is spirit and we came to evolve through a human experience.